There we go. So we now want to move on to the next segment. We focus on what the papers have for us today. We are still using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. Our official station handle is at KBC Channel 1. Our individual handles are at Victor Olo, at Dorina Range, and at Jane Womboy. I start you off with the Daily Nation. So busy today. So many stories have made their way on the front page. We start with politics, of course, and this one concerns the Nakuru senatorial seat aspirant Tabitha Karanja, who is the Keroche Brewery's CEO. Why she chose Ruto over Raila, and this is sort of something that most people did not expect, given her relationship, her friendship with the former Premier Raila Odinga. That story has been captured here, and the main question is what changed? What made her decide to go with UDA as opposed to joining the Azimio bandwagon as most expected? I'll be giving you those details in a bit. Coming to some more politics, the main read here on the front page of the Daily Nation: big names on Azimio train. Big names on the Azimio train, and the strategy is basically based on Raila Odinga banking on the 2018 handshake with His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, and looking at the alliance, and they are moving with the spirit, gather all, come ye unto all. Unto me, all of you. That's the philosophy that the two principals, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, are banking on, in line with just bringing up names and more parties into the coalition, set to go against the deputy president once we get to the official polls on the 9th of August this year. But so far, they have about 13 parties that have joined the Azimio la Umoja team, and that is something that they're saying they still haven't confirmed how many more will be joining, but once everything is ready, they will be able to give the actual number. I'll be giving you details of that story in a bit. The other story here is concerning treatment when it comes to HIV and AIDS. And the question is, can you imagine a world without AIDS? Yes. Trials for a vaccine that uses the same technology as COVID's does is currently underway. There's some human trials that are ongoing in the United States. I'll be giving you the particulars to this story in a bit, because I find it to be such a great step when it comes to the treatment of HIV and AIDS, which has been a global struggle for so many people for so many years now. And finally, former NSSF boss fined 2.4 billion for the shares scandal, and he was fined yesterday alongside 3 others, a total of 4, and they will be expected to pay about 4.8 billion Kenya shillings or face jail terms, which I'll be giving you the specifics in a bit. That is generally the front page of the Daily Nation for you this fine Tuesday morning. Victor.
Corruption is expensive, and you know, the wheel of justice might take a very long time, by the way.
Imagine ukipigwa fine ya 2.8 billion.
2.8 billion.
Juliba 1.4.
Yes. And then you look at...
it's a good lesson.
Double.
Yes. And then you look at the time, the weight of the case. By then, the amount lost, 1.2 billion shillings. 1.4.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a lot of money way back then. And we all know the scheme, the fund, how many people depend on it. And yeah, it's also in this newspaper here, but let me go on the front page here. Raila battle plan to neutralize Mudavadi. Raila battle plan to neutralize Mudavadi. Oparanya says that they will hold rallies in Busia on Thursday and Bungoma on Friday. That is what's on the front page of the Star. And then there was an alleged terror attack yesterday in Mandera County, where 10 people were killed and 13 injured after a terrorist attack. And of course, you know, it's said that a public service vehicle, a 14-seater Matatu, hit an IED in Mandera yesterday morning, and 10 people were confirmed dead and 13 of them got injured, and they're getting treatment in different hospitals in that particular region. Ex-NSSF manager fined 2.6 billion shillings or 14 years in jail. Jane has just handled that. It said that Muturi was accused of scheming to steal from the workers' fund through the purchase of shares. NSSF lost 1.2 billion shillings out of the undelivered shares that were to have been delivered between 2004 and 2007. So as it is, That's where the case is. Uhuru Ruto toughs trail in voter listing, something that we'll also be talking about later on. Mount Kenya has only hit 12% of target, while DP Backyard has registered an average of 8.55%. And by the way, if you've not taken your voter's card, go there and take that card. It's vital. So, according to the figures released by the IBC last evening, only the 10 counties of Mount Kenya region, including Nakuru, have registered a paltry 12% of their target as at the end of the second week of the mass voter registration. And says that the figures released by Chairman Wafula Chebukati shows that only 108,210 new voters have been netted in the 10 counties out of the target of 897,321 in the last 2 weeks of the exercise. We'll be having a discussion later on just to ascertain what exactly is happening. Okay, Kenya terror suspect, I want to go home from Guantanamo. Release approved after Abdul Malik held in the facility since 2007 for alleged terror links. He is scheduled to be released following a successful review of his case and charges by the Periodic Review Board, but a country must agree to have him. So on December 27th last year, the Periodic Review Board, which is composed of the senior officials from the U.S. Departments of Defense, Homeland Security, Justice and National Intelligence, concluded Malik could be safely transferred to another country. It called for security assurances. Well, they say, first of all, your security is paramount to them. To them, he's still innocent. And you know what happened? He was jailed without any formal charges, and had not been on trial for 15 years. And finally, Raila's team fight black plan against Ruto and Mudavadi. Western Kenya bigwigs have launched a major offensive against the union between Deputy President William Ruto and ANC boss, that is Musalia Mudavadi. They are setting the stage for a major political battle in Western Kenya. The leaders pledge to quote-unquote bury Mudavadi and his Ford Kenya counterpart Moses Wetangula once and for all. And they said because they mortgaged the lawyer community to Ruto without their consent. At the meeting led by Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, CS Omalwa and Atwoli, the leaders announced that they will commence rallies in the region beginning Thursday. The team will first comb Busia County and hold rallies in the border town and in the Teso region. On Friday, the team heads to Bungoma for what Governor Wycliffe Oparanya described as the mother of all rallies. And the rally in Bungoma will come just a week after Ruto, Mudavadi and Wetangula held a similar event on the grounds. Interesting times ahead, politically speaking. Right? Right. Doreen.
All right, so let's come to the PD. And yesterday, as the report was being released by the Media Council of Kenya on best performing media houses, on the same breath, there was also a concern on how media houses are covering this year's election. And going by the statement of PS ICT, that is Esther Koimech, decried what she termed an emerging trend where media houses appear to be siding with some politicians and ignoring others, obviously urging media houses to be nonpartisan and to report without any form of biasness. Away from that, to some bit of politics. Could there be a storm brewing in the new formed alliance, Kenya Kwanza? That is the alliance formed between ANC, Ford Kenya and UDA. Yesterday, as we're looking at what was happening on the papers, there was some bit of complaints, especially from UDA politicians there. This was after that rally that happened in Bungoma, whereby some of them were saying that a lot of focus and interest was being given to those allied to ANC when they went to that part of the country, the western side, as opposed to UD, and this is why they were urging the DP to step in and perhaps see how best he could solve that particular situation. So now the UDA chair, that is Johnston Muthama, is insisting that the party had and has not signed any coalition agreement with the two, that is Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula. And he even further on said that UDA will not pick a running mate based on tribe or region, as they're trying to eliminate any perception that a running mate must only come from a populous community. And he also went ahead to clarify what media reports, or what the media has been reporting, whereby the three political outfits had not formalized their unity, and urged UDA supporters to treat such reports as only rumors. So that only means that they're still in talks on obviously who will carry the day and which regions will field which kind of candidates there. And still, IBC getting to its last stretch of the second phase of voter listing, or if you may, voter registration. They're still saying they haven't yet reached their target, and this article highlights the counties that have registered the highest number of voters. Clearly, obviously, Nairobi forming that part or list of those registering the highest number of voters, and Lamu forming the list of counties with the least number of voters. Still on this last week, it's still urging Kenyans to come out and get registered as voters for the purpose of voting when it comes to August 9th. Just saying that they have managed to, when it came to the first phase, they only managed to register 1.5 out of the possible 6 million. And so far, remember that on this second phase, their target was 4.5 million Kenyans, and they say that they haven't yet reached that target. But also, when we get to the details, I'll be telling you what some of the reasons and factors as to why they haven't reached, because that particular article also highlights that. And state to legalize use of traditional medicine. This was just a statement given by the CAS Health, that is Rashid Aman, and he stated that the ministry is at an advanced stage of preparing a draft bill on traditional medicine to enable herbalists operate in accordance with the law, saying that the bill is not ready yet, but they're in the process of legalizing it. So that means that when it comes to traditional medicine and midwifery, it's going to be legal and operational in the country once that bill is passed. They're still on that stages of discussing and see how best they could also come with regulations when it comes to making it go to operation. And man feeds on raw meat for 78 days and counting. Oh yes, 78 days raw meat. This is chicken meat, chicken breast meat, there is cow meat, yet all forms of meat that you can imagine for strictly 78 days. And he has gone ahead to document this with a title, Quest of Eating Raw Meat Every Day Until I Die. That is actually a documentary he's documenting there of eating raw meat. And again, when you get the details, I'll be telling you why he's actually doing this, because I mean, these are just some of those bizarre incidents and bizarre stories. I mean, who will be eating raw meat and for 78 days and he's not even gotten ill or anything of that sort? And
wait, he's eating that meat deliberately, not as per the situation he's in?
No, it's deliberate. Raw meat.
Okay.
And he's documenting it. Bizarre stories. Lastly, Mama Ida apologizes over regulation of churches' remarks. This is after those remarks that he made in Kisumu during the NCCK event. And what she had said was that we want worshippers to get quality sermons that can only be achieved if the bishops and priests are well trained. Clearly, these sentiments did not sit well with church members as well as also church leaders, and this is why she was forced to apologize. But on the flip, she actually received backing from Atheist Society in Kenya, which demanded that churches not run by theologians should be abolished. But even at that, she went ahead to apologize for her sentiments. Jane.
I don't know about you guys, but I respect a leader who can actually apologize.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just kubaling that, yo, I need to make a public apology.
But then you also realize
for what I said, accountability.
But again, you also realize saying sorry is not really an easy thing sometimes, depending on how you
in as much as some of the things they do, they are very inhumane or might go against the principles and values, but just taking that step to publicly apologize to the people for a statement that was misunderstood or misconstrued or misrepresented.
Yeah.
I respect that.
There is power in apology.
That's high level of maturity, we say?
Sure. And now that we all know who she is and all the political interest and what have you, an apology goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a very quick breather. We will be back to continue with all the goodness that we have lined up for you here on Good Morning Kenya. Stay with us.
I love it. All the goodness.
And everything, I know.